So MPT came to us and said, hey, we want to do this live cooking demo and kind of show what you can get at a store, and Rocco's is a great fit. So we had a kind of brainstorm, come up with some ideas for what we could do. One of the things we like to do is do what's simple, okay? I'm not a chef. I'm just a guy who likes to cook. I like to cook and I like to eat. I used to like to eat a lot, but I lost like 60 pounds. So we wanted to come up with something that's simple. You know, something you could do at home, something that's, come to the market like ours, come and get some key ingredients and make something that's really nice for home. So, and that's like what they showed on the show. So I think we're just gonna kind of work our way through here. We're gonna have appetizers, we're gonna have an entree, and then we're gonna have a little dessert, and we'll just work through it and cook and have fun and then do a Q&A at the end or during, I don't care, whatever you guys wanna do. So
Steve likes to talk.
I don't like talking at all. So with that being said, we're gonna start off with our appetizer. So we're gonna get going into that. But one of the things we're gonna do before that is talk about pasta and start getting our pasta to cook, because we could start doing our appetizers while our pasta's cooking. So we brought a few different things from the market. So we have a lot of fun pastas, all different types. And Leah and I like a bunch of different stuff. So here's
That's the roasted red pepper, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one with the spicy pepper in it.
Yes. And
Squid ink.
Squid ink.
Okay. And then we've got this line right here. It's called Mancini, and they're from Italy. Most of our pastas are imported. And they got a cool little QR code on the bottom. You can scan it, and it tells you which field in Italy the wheat came from, when it was harvested, and what dye was used to process the pasta. And you could see the whole journey of your meal from Italy to your table. So I think I mentioned bronze dye. Did I say bronze dye?
I think so.
Okay. Does anybody know the difference between a bronze dye and a regular like nylon dye? I see you're shaking your head. And what's going to happen if we use a bronze dye with our pasta?
It holds the sauce better.
And why does it?
Because it's not smooth.
Bingo. So you're going to get ridges. A bronze dye, when you extrude pasta through a bronze dye, it's going to give you little ridges. And those little ridges are going to help hold your sauce. So if you were to buy Walmart brand pasta, the regular pasta, and it's shiny. You know how like the spaghetti's always got that little nice shine to it? That went through like usually a nylon dye. So, or something that's got non-stick, like a Teflon. And it just extrudes out and it doesn't get the little ridges. So what we're gonna use, and you guys have this one for your demo today for what you're gonna eat. This is by DiCecco. And I know with DiCecco, you're gonna be like, I can get it at the grocery store. Not the imported. You're gonna get domestic DiCecco. So we're gonna get the imported stuff. So I got a little water going at a rolling boil. It's gonna be 7 minutes to al dente or 9 minutes total cook. Now al dente pasta, I was thinking about this today when I was cooking this at the restaurant to get ready for you guys. I don't really like al dente pasta.
No.
And Leah doesn't either.
I don't either. I overcook my pasta most of the time.
Leah overcooks it, but al dente, sometimes it's a little too hard for me. So I like to go about a minute past al dente. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my phone and I'm gonna start the clock. Okay, so we're gonna roll about 8 minutes on that. In the meantime, we got the pasta going. We got our guests here for the party at our house, and we're gonna start a charcuterie. So charcuterie is really just meat, cheese, and fruit on a platter, okay? It's a fancy word.
And some jams.
Yeah, but it's a fancy word, but it's not intimidating. So we're gonna take the intimidation out of it, and I'm gonna show you guys a little trick to make it a little fancy. So I've got a little demo tray right here. These are pizza peels, okay? So if you don't have like a wood platter or something, got these off of Amazon. I think they're like $6 or $5 or something, and they look really cool. So you can use them for tons of different things at the house. Just a simple little pizza peel. So we're gonna wanna dress that up. Get yourself a little glass, okay? This is a cortado glass, this is what we use for cappuccino. And we're drawing espresso shots out of the espresso machine. And I'm gonna take some Genoa salami, just a deli cut, nice and thin. And I'm gonna start rolling them around my cup. And I know, okay, good, they're showing it in the camera. I'm gonna go up here so you guys can see. So we're just gonna overlap. Now, if you have cheese and you wanna put provolone in a layer, you can do that as well. And I'll explain what's gonna happen at that once we flip the cup over. So we're going to get the Genoa salami in. Be very generous. We're going to keep going with that. Keep going with that. Now what do we get? Salami roast. Real simple. Dresses it up. It's pretty. You know, and people like Heather Cole would be envious of you, because Heather's always envious over my cooking. So what do we want to do here? We're actually going to steal. We should have brought a little cheese from in back, but sure. I'm going to take a brie wheel. I've got a little baby brie, okay? So we're going to take this little brie wheel, and we're going to take it out of its packing. Okay. Now I like, with my brie, instead of just throwing it on there, you could heat it. You could put it in the oven, warm it up, get it melty, and then hit it with some crackers. But I like to take a little wedge cut out. Okay. Put it like that. Put it like that. It's real pretty. Okay? So then, that's the applause. You guys can applaud. That's okay. So, little pepperoni. We could put some pepperoni on there. And then I'm just going to rob some of the cheese that I had over here off of this one. Some sliced provolone. We can put that there. We've got, this is like a pepper cheese. I'm going to put that there. You don't have to put a ton of stuff on your platter. Not everybody eats it. Cheese will get a little in the heat, especially if you're doing it by the pool or something. So just put like a generous amount of cheese out. You don't have to go crazy.
You'll probably throw more out anyway.
Exactly, so don't throw it out. This is pepato. This is a pepper cheese. It has pepper corns in it. We're gonna take some figs, drop them in there. We're gonna take some apples, drop them in there. And then Leah and I always like apricots because it gives you a nice color. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna put them around. And then, boom. There we go. All right, looks pretty, very simple. Put it together in the matter of minutes. And we can steal a little bit off this one as well. There you go. So real simple. I mean, you don't have to go crazy with your cheeses. They don't have to be fancy. I like to stay away from anything that's really soft, like a blue or a gorgonzola. It just doesn't serve well. And then you can get nice little knives if you want to get a cheese knife or something, put them out. People can cut the brie. I also, if I get wedges, I'll leave a wedge intact and then I'll cut another wedge and I'll put it next to it. So it's easy to serve, and then someone can take off the wedge, and then if it's left over, you can wrap the wedge and put it back in the fridge. So that is pretty much just a very simple charcuterie tray. Like I said, some dried fruits and some meats and some different cheeses. Olives, yep, true. I have my basket, my shopping basket for the shopping show. And I've got these olives that we got at Rocco's. And you can always open them and just set them next to your charcuterie tray. You don't have to put them on the tray or put them in a nice little bowl. You can put them in a nice little bowl and people serve them. And remember, they're going to make a little bit of a mess, so you want to contain them a bit. So, how are we on time? We are 5 minutes into our 8 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is just give my pasta a toss. Now, I did earlier, because I've had this thing on for like an hour, put a little salt in my water, so there was salt in there. So you're going to want to salt your water. I forgot to mention that. So we're looking at 5 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm going to go and see what it's like at 7, and then we're probably just going to pull it at 8. So anybody got any questions so far? I mean, it's a dinner party. It's interactive. What you got? Anything. You're in the splash zone, I hope you know. So it's going to get, once we get into the pesto, you don't know where it's going. So I have got 2.5 minutes to kill. There you go. Question. What's that? Bread, yes. We brought crostinis, and we have crostinis in the little cups for you guys.
And little Tarallis.
And Taralli. You can get Taralli from Rocco's, which is like a little, kind of like a little Italian pretzel. I should have brought some up to the table. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, you can put breads out, bread in oil. If you want to take a little nice extra virgin olive oil and put a little, say, Parmesan and crushed red pepper flakes and put it in the olive oil and put it in a little bowl. People can dip in it. That's always nice too. So 6 minutes, 20 seconds. I like doing meat and cheeses. Fruit and veg, I mean, tomatoes, stuff like that's nice. I'm not a big veg platter person. I don't know. It's just not me. Heather might be, but I'm not. It's not my, it's your thing. It's whatever you want. You want to put fruit on it, put fruit on it. You want to put veg on it, put veg on it. We like putting dried fruits. You can put fresh fruits, stuff like that. But, you know, as far as like celery, carrots, stuff like that, not my jam. Not my jam. Oh, jam. Speaking of jams, these things are cool. So it's just a little, this one is the sour cherry spread
we
from
sometimes
Davina.
do fig jam.
We'll
or
put fig jams
jam
out,
yeah.
put a little spoon out. They're nice. People could put it on the cracker or crostini. You could put a platter of crackers out with it as well. What you got? You can put mustards. Yep. Mustard's really good. Think about something that's hearty, that's going to sit out long, especially if you're going to have people over your house for a little while. You don't want to have anything that's just kind of going to lose its appeal after sitting out for about an hour, and mustard's perfect because it holds really well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we are at 7 minutes. Yeah. The die. So it's going to be a plate with a cut in it. And as the pasta comes through the auger and it pushes through the die, it's going to give you your shape. And then there'll be usually a timed cutter that will spin around it to cut the pasta. So if it's going to be like a shell, it will come out through the die, and as it turns, the wheel goes and it cuts it off. The same thing with long pasta, stuff like that. This would have extruded through a die, came out straight, and then the cutter would come around and cut it to its lengths. So that's what a die is. Yeah.
I always look for fresh pasta, fresh made pasta.
You could. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there anywhere that you recommend, or does Rocco's sell fresh made pasta?
We have a fresh pasta line that is like a 3-minute cook pasta.
It's from Italy.
And it's from Italy. Fresh pasta is great. We make fresh pasta at home. Now look at that. We've got a beautiful, beautiful pasta right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn off my burner, put my lid off to the side. Yeah, I'll put it right here. Perfect. And then I'm actually going to grab my pasta, and if I had a colander at the house, I would strain it off and put it in a colander. But for now, I'm just going to put it in my bowl. And I could tell, I don't even have to taste it. I could tell that it's got enough body to it still, and it's not mushy. So I'm going to get my other burner going and get my skillet. It's only going to take about a minute. We're going to get that up, and we're going to assemble a really quick sauce to toss that in. Oh, while that's warming, any other questions? I like the interactive between because it actually keeps me busy. What you got? She's going to bring you a microphone.
Sorry. How does your water not boil over? Mine always does.
Don't overfill it. Don't overfill it with pasta. And then what you can always do is crack your lid too, or take a wooden, like a wooden spoon, go like that. And the wooden spoon will make it not boil over. An old grandmother trick. So you can do that. So we got our little skillet here that is warming up. And then what we're going to do, who likes pesto? You guys like pesto? Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Good.
Because that's what's in the dish.
That's what's in the dish. And if you didn't like it, you shouldn't come over for dinner. So yeah, we're going to make a pesto sauce, something very, 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 very simple. Anybody can throw this together. We're just going to get our saute pan warmed up just a little bit more. I'm going to see what happens when I put a little water in it.
It should be ready.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little green pesto. It's a basil pesto, no pine nuts. So if you guys got nut allergies, this has no nuts in it because generally a basil pesto is going to have pine nuts in it. So, but we don't, at Rocco's, we don't use it on the line just in case we got a nut allergy. So I'm going to warm a little pesto, get that going. Use my tong to stir that up. I'm going to take some julienne sun-dried tomatoes. Everybody like sun-dried tomatoes? They're always nice and sweet. You know, it's one of the nice things about sun-dried. It adds a little flavor. You can mince them down. I like them julienne. So we're going to put them in here. Get that going a little crazy. We'll add a little more. Now, I am just gonna stir that up. Pasta water. We're gonna save a little pasta water. That's what the ladle's out for. And we're gonna thin that out just a little bit. Pasta water's got starch in it from the pasta, okay? And that will also help thicken it just a little bit. So we're gonna continue warming that up. A little heavy cream. It's a heavy whipping cream. I'll put a little cream in there. And that up as well. Let that warm up. Parmesan cheese. So if you guys have noticed, I haven't put any spices in the dish at all yet, okay? Now there's a reason for that. I like pecorino romano at the house, okay? We use it at the restaurant as well. Parmesan, most people are familiar with. It's salty. So don't over season. So don't worry, I put a bunch of salt in it. You gotta remember your cheese is gonna have salt. So that's gonna give you flavor as well. So we're gonna let that kind of boil up a little bit. The cheese is gonna melt, and then it's going to create a nice sauce for us. So you guys can see it's bubbling off here on the side. See how it's starting to tighten up? We got the cream in there, we got the cheese, and that's doing. You can also get a little shredded Parmesan. You don't have to use just a straight. I can add that at the end, it'll look really pretty. So we're gonna get that going. Let that tighten up. I'm gonna grab the rest of my pasta out of here. And as you can see, we're only, 19 minutes into being up here, maybe a little bit less, and we're almost ready to plate. So you definitely could do this on the fly at home. That's gotten nice and thick. I don't know if you can see there how thick that's coming, which is good because it's gonna help us coat. I'm gonna do small mozzarella. Okay, so it's like a fresh mozzarella, but it's going to be, this is Cilantini. It's a small, you can get pearls if you want to get mozzarella pearls, which are small. You can even cut these in half if they're too big for you, and you wanted to cut them a little smaller, you could do that as well. Now I like the way my sauce is getting. I'm actually going to give it a slight bit more pasta water, thin it just a little bit more, because we're going to end up tossing all that pasta. And if you want to add a little bit more, you can always do that. Now, we're at the point of no return, okay? So, what I recommend, get a tasting spoon or something, and you wanna make sure it's the flavor the way you want it, okay? You might say, oh, it needs a little bit more pesto, okay? I'll put a little bit more pesto in. Or maybe I need some more cheese, okay? Because this is the point where we got our sauce, it's made, and we're gonna be married to our decision, so we'll come through. I've been married to my decision for 25 years.
Best decision ever.
I always say you can get a sentence for homicide that's lower than that, but it's all right. So we're just gonna use those tongs, toss it in our bowl, okay? And then we're gonna have a nice platter, and we're gonna put it right on there. Now, we could take that shredded Parmesan, put that on there. You want to dress it up, be fancy. Okay, put a nice, some more julienne. Make that top look beautiful. Do whatever you want. All right? Always finish with a little fresh parsley. You're done. That's it. Dinner served. Now, thank you. I want you to do that at home for me.
No, I don't think so.
No one, Heather does when she comes over to the house. No one applauds for me when I cook. I didn't talk about a big thing. If you wanted to add a protein, so if you got grilled chicken, you got shrimp, you want to add crab meat, just do that when you toss. Just have it ready. Something like chicken will hold really well if you want to cut it, add it to the sauce in the skillet, and then toss it, you're fine. Something that's more delicate like lump crab meat or something, of course, add it right as you're tossing at the very, very end, and then plate, and then garnish the top. You can always shingle off some nice chicken, lay that off the top, and it'll look beautiful as well. So as you can see, that was done in
15 minutes?
15 minutes. We had our little charcuterie. Now we got some pasta, and there we go. So, before I get into dessert, we got any questions? Okay, what you got?
Can you tell us about your experience in cooking? How'd you become
Yeah,
a
I
chef?
bought drugs for the Maryland State Police for 10 years. No lie, no lie. No, here's my resume. So, my family owns supermarkets in Connecticut. My family's also in food manufacturing in Connecticut. That's where I'm from. I grew up working for my grandfather in his Italian market in Waterbury, Connecticut. Cut meat for him when I was in high school. I worked the seafood counter standing on a milk crate when I was about 12. I drove his black on black Lincoln Town Car 25 minutes to work at 14 years old. Yeah, I was 19, early 1990s. So that's where I got a lot of background in there. My family, my mother's side's all Italian. My father's side has been here pre-Revolutionary War. So they're all just, we're kind of mutts, you know, my father's side. But my mother's side is all from Naples or Foggia. So we, you know, cooked my grandmother, my great-grandmother, who great-grandmother passed only in 99.
99, yeah.
And that was only, what, 10 years ago?
I think so.
So, I mean,
think it's been 10
yeah,
years.
so she was with us in the family forever. We made fresh pasta, we made wine, we dried meat in our attic. I don't know if anybody's ever dried meat in their attic, but my family actually did. So, you know, that's how Italian we were. So, it was funny, we didn't speak Italian though. My grandfather came here, and great-grandfather came here in 1923, November 9th, 1923. Amadio Calagrassi comes through Naples, from Foggia, to the United States for a better life. And he said to his kids, you're gonna learn English, and you're getting an education. And he set the rule. When he came here to the States, him and my great-grandmother spoke English in the house, because he was, you know, peasant in Italy. And came here, and he was successful. He opened a furniture store in Brooklyn, New York. And then he did furniture refinishing, and he did pieces for, like, you guys ever heard of Victor Borge? The guy who used to play the piano, you know? He did a piece for Victor Borge. It was a reproduction piece, and Victor Borge called him because he couldn't figure out which was the original and which was the repro. So my great-grandfather was amazingly talented, and he, even when I was a kid, he'd go, grande, grande, bring me your report card. I'd bring him my report card, and he'd give me silver dollars, you know? So great-grandfather was big on education, and but they were Italian. So my uncle's mother tried giving me beer and gigolo bread at 13 years old. Yeah, it's gigolo bread's got the little fat. It's kind of a cool little bread. But yeah, that's my background as far as cooking. I went to the Coast Guard in 1999. Got eventually stationed in Miami Beach, Florida. Leah was my bartender, so that's some of my.
So I've got the restaurant background.
Yeah, she
started
served
when
my
I was
beers.
17 and kind of just went from like a hostess to a waitress to a bartender. Then I managed a place here in Pikesville for 10 years.
You guys ever go to the Olive Branch when it was down next to the Ramada?
So I was there for 10 years,
Yeah.
and then I left, and I always said I wanted to open my own place, and we had the barbecue equipment store at the time, and then I started bartending at another place while we were doing that, and then we decided in 2015 we needed to figure out something else besides him being a police officer.
Me buying drugs for MSP, yep.
And then because we weren't really making too much money selling barbecue equipment, so we wanted to put the restaurant into the equipment store. And so we did that in 2016, and we've had Outlaw Barbecue for 10 years. We recently closed the carryout part of it to focus more on catering, but 3 years ago we opened Rocco's.
Yeah,
so they're
Rocco's
both
was
across the street from
a
each
mini
other.
version of what we did at the supermarket. So we just did a micro of Town Plot IGA.
Yep.
And did it there, and you guys can see my bakery items, the fresh pastries, stuff like that. Anybody have my donuts? Yeah, the donuts. So, side note on that, I think we got a couple minutes, right? We good? Yeah, okay. So, Jillian, who's in my bakery, works for Leah and I. She came from Shoppers, and she made donuts for Shoppers for like 5 years. Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to say nothing else. That's my resume when it comes to donuts. All the Italian pastries and stuff is what we used to do back home. So I brought a New York, Connecticut, New Jersey style bakery to Hampstead was our goal. I think we've done pretty good with it.
We kind of build every day, like
Yeah,
little
we
different things.
we just ask people, what are you looking for? If they're looking for something new that they were getting back home and they moved down here, into sometimes the Italian food oasis, or the
Yep.
desert rather.
Yep, so we got 2 different backgrounds with the bakery. We've got Jillian, who's got retail bakery, and then we have Amber, she's got the rustic bakery part of it. So they kind of work together, and then
like the
Steve
yin and
comes
the
in
yang.
and does his thing and
Yeah, you watch
puts
out.
little spins on things, and I help decorate, but
So that is app, dinner. Now let's get into a dessert. So we're gonna do, question, what you got? Okay, I say, first of all, what are you using it for is one of the most important things to think about, okay? We can take an amazing unfiltered olive oil, and if we're throwing it in a skillet, it's a waste. It's a waste. So let's get a good cooking olive oil, okay? Let's get a good table olive oil, which is gonna be completely different. And I think that's where you're probably getting. So I like unfiltered olive oils. Unfiltered olive oils are cold pressed, and then they don't filter out all the stuff. And that's the good stuff. That is, that's the stuff that they say, is great for cancer and all other good health benefits. So unfiltered olive oils are generally my favorite. They got a higher polyphenol level. So you ever taste an olive oil and it's got like that little that kick like on the end? That's the polyphenol level. So when you're tasting that, look for region. Okay. Also, when you look for region, look for single source. Okay, because you can always get an olive oil that's good, say like a skillet olive oil or just an all-purpose in the kitchen, and it could be blended from 3 different regions. You usually see like Greece, Tunisia. Tunisian olive oil right now is banging. There's a bunch of really great Tunisian olive oils. Tunisia's been on the scene for a little while, and they're doing really good. You can have like Italy, Greece, Turkey, and Tunisia, like 4 different regions. If you get a single source, generally it's pressed right away. Okay, and you also want to look for different olive oils that they'll have little certifications on them. Like certain ones out of Sicily, they have to be harvested only during a certain period of time of the year, and they have to go to press within a certain amount of time, and generally it's hours to like less than a day or 2. And those can only be pressed once a year. So, like I've got some, if you guys come in, I can always give you recommendations on olive oil. Our son's really gotten big into olive
he really
oil.
likes that part.
Olive oil is great. Everyone's very unique. They all taste very different, and they all serve different purposes. But if I had a go-to, unfiltered. Paisano unfiltered, one of my absolute favorite olive oils, made by Partana. Partana is from Partana, Italy. It's a Sicilian olive oil, and it's phenomenal. One of my faves. So I hope that helped. Yeah, and come in. If we got one open, we'll let you try it, stuff like that. Or help you, just guide you through. You don't have to spend a ton of money on an olive oil to get a good olive oil.
I mean, we have some that are like maybe $8.99 to $69.99, depending.
Some of the big, the higher ones are of course always bigger.
They're bigger.
Bottles. Some are smaller. And then like Partana, they've got a great all-purpose olive oil that they do in the little jars. So if you want to try it for like $6, did we
Actually,
bring it?
no, it's in our basket that we.
Oh, it's in the basket we didn't bring up front. So.
No, that they're wrapping up.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Something like
whoever
that.
gets the gift tonight, we brought a gift, and it's got a lot of cool stuff in there. One of them is a bottle of Partana.
Partana, yeah. And another oil or something.
Yeah.
that we put
Oh,
in there.
cheese, really quick. Table cheese. Grate it yourself. I like doing that. Leah and I usually keep a wedge of cheese in the refrigerator. Before kids, we were a lot better at that.
Yeah, but they still ask for it. They're like, "Where's
But
that
before
cheese?"
kids, we were always better.
Yes.
So keep some and just grate it as you go. It's nice and fresh that way. So we're kind of wrapping up our dinner party. We want to have a dessert. So cannoli cream. I don't have everything right now to show you how to make it. It is the simplest thing to do. So ricotta, as my family would call it, ricotta cheese. You want to have, there's different types of ricotta. You have what you get at the grocery store, okay? Then you have different amounts of less liquid in it. So the one you're going to get at the grocery store is more for making lasagna, baked ziti, stuff like that. If you're doing, say, baking pies, we do a lot of baking with ricotta. Sopraffina is really silky. It's real smooth. It's nice. It doesn't, you ever get the ricotta and it's kind of like a little gritty?
Yeah.
It's got that little gritty, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just got that little bit of a grittier texture. Sopraffina is silky, okay? It's just beautiful for baking. And then you get the da pasta, the impastata. The impastata has a very, very low water content in it. So, and what happens is if you ever make cannoli cream at home and you get the grocery store ricotta, it's runny. And you're like, I'm piping my cannolis and it's oozing out the ends. Well, it's oozing out the ends, it's got too much water in it. So if you were like my great-grandmother, you would take your pantyhose or your stockings, new, not used. Not used. They don't have no bunions in them. And they would take the nylons and put the ricotta in it and tie it and put it in the refrigerator and let all that water drain out and get it like cheesecloth, but Italian cheesecloth is pantyhose. So, you know, that's the purpose of cheesecloth, is to get rid of that water content. So you can do it at home if you got a ricotta you like. Maybe you get one from a farmer's market that's local from a certain, you know, someone who's making ricotta. You can do it at home and just extrude the water. If not, you just get impastata. So for every 3 parts of cheese, it's 1 part of sugar, just regular table sugar. Remember, the cheese is going to be the focus. You want to taste the cheese. You don't want to taste the sugar. Okay? Should we give them the secret?
Oh, the little oil that we put in?
Yeah, what the hell? Cinnamon oil.
That's where you get
Tiny
that little,
bit of cinnamon oil.
because that's very strong.
Very
so you
strong.
have to be very careful using that.
Yep. It will burn your eyes, stuff like that. So you can get a little, don't get the one that's for like making candles or something.
No, yeah,
get the one for eating.
Food grade.
All right?
Food grade.
Food grade. So we're going to take our bowl. We're going to take 3 parts of the ricotta, the impastata, 1 part sugar, a little bit of cinnamon oil, or if you got another flavor you like, you can put a little vanilla. Put a little vanilla. You can do orange. Mix it up. Get it all mixed. We run it through the mixer at the restaurant. And then the last minute, fold in chocolate chips. If you can get them, we can sell them to you at Rocco's. If you get mini chocolate chips at the grocery store, they're going to be like a 4,000 or 5,000 count. That's how they grade chocolate chips, like how small they are. So we got the 10,000 count. They're like very, very, very tiny. You don't want to bite into a cannoli and, you know, you have this big chocolate chip. So, little pastry bag, or if you want to take a like a heavy Ziploc bag, something that's got a little body to it, put it in there, cut a corner, and get a little pastry bag. So we got little cannoli shells at Rocco's. These are from Italy. Just pipe it in. Boom, that's all you do. You want to dip it, you dip it. A little sun-dried tomato, Parmesan. So for you guys, we brought cannoli chips. Cannoli chips are fun. There's a lot of cool things you can do with them. It's the same thing as a cannoli shell, but it's just, they're usually fried flat, and they're meant to, like a chip and dip. So, you know, so that's that. No pepperoni with it. We'll put that away. And then we can do the other one there. Who wants it? I'll give it to you early. Anybody want it? It's safe, it's safe, it's safe. Safe. Taker? Taker? I see 2 takers.
You're offering.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I don't know if that was allowed, but I just made the rules up. So, so you're welcome. So that is that's our impastata. And it's really simple. We just threw together a really quick, nice little dinner. You know, if you're coming home from work and you don't have a ton of time, we literally put this together.
It doesn't have to be expensive either. So.
No, and that's the thing. So think about this for a second. So a nice bag of pasta, you know, you're probably looking at $5, maybe $6, depending on which cut. You can get a domestic that's bronze dye as well, and it might be just a little bit less.
Actually, the one that we have here, we actually sell for $2.99.
$2.99. Look at the deal.
Yeah.
A little heavy cream, water. There's a ton in your spigot. You just open it up. You got water. You know,
sun-dried tomatoes.
Sun-dried tomatoes, and sun-dried tomatoes are great because you can buy. We get them packed in oil you know, on the shelf, so they'll hold well in your refrigerator. If not, just put them in a bag and put them in your fridge. You can always add a little oil so they don't mold. And nice, simple. It's basic stuff. It's fresh. If it's summertime, we'd be taking zucchini from the house, and we'd be tossing some nice zucchini in it. I would pre-grill it and get grill marks on it, then toss it in. I mean, the world's your oyster. You do whatever you want to with that. You just add whatever floats your boat. So, and that's pretty much about it. I know probably some people got some questions. What you got? Oh, got back there.
How would you pair the drinks for each of the dishes?
Pairing wines? Like non-alcoholic? You know, I was a
nice-
police officer for almost 20 years and I don't drink alcohol.
You can do a Perrier water, a sparkling water,
Yeah.
or like sparkling
into-
juice too. If you want like a wine, like a nice Pinot Grigio would go nice with that. There's no red meat in there, so I wouldn't really do like a red, but you could do a red wine with that.
Blush or something.
Blush. Prosecco is good because it's
I'm
a little
a
bit drier.
Moscato drinker, if
He
I'm
likes
drink-
Moscato, which is very sweet. So.
Well, the old Italian wine, they were sweet. And has anybody ever made wine? Anyway, yeah. You know what racking is when you have to transfer it from one the big glass thing to the next to the bottom? I remember as a kid, I was the siphon guy. And then put it in. And then put it to the next one. And then what you do is the sediment, what you're doing is you're taking one of those big, I forgot what they call them, carboys, yeah. The big carboy, you'd have it up here and you'd put it in another carboy down there. And you'd have a hose that would come down. Well, all the sediment's in the top one, so you don't want the sediment in your wine. So there you go. And you do that for like 5 carboys and you're like 14. You're a little stunad, you know? So, yeah. So what else you guys got? You guys got a good crowd.
First of all, the cinnamon was very good. In
Oh,
the
well, thank you.
cannoli. You talked about adding protein to the sauce. Would you cook the protein in the sauce or cook
No,
it
I would
separately?
cook ahead. This is a fast sauce. So this is something where we want to see, as you guys saw it when I put it together, I'm watching for as soon as it thickens. As soon as it thickens, we're done. You know, as soon as I get the thickness that I want and the taste I want, I'm done. I don't want to rely on going, oh God, the chicken's not cooked enough, and then I burn the sauce.
So yeah, definitely cook your protein first.
Yeah, cook your protein first. And I'll tell you what, in the restaurants and stuff, they would always, oh, we're getting the 1 minute. Look at that. Look at that. You guys are eating soon. All right, 1 or 2 more questions. We're good.
Hi.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in number 1, where is your restaurant?
Okay,
shop?
so Hampstead is in beautiful Carroll County, which is just north of Owings Mills. Go Butler Road, take 30, keep going north, and before you get to Hanover, PA, we're right there on the right-hand side.
Right in the middle of the town of
And
Hampstead.
Yeah.
My second question is, how hard is it to make mozzarella at home?
We
did it at the
start-
restaurant.
Yeah, we did.
It's tedious because you got to start with a curd. And you got to start with hot water and salted water. And
you
you're
have to do it really
pulling
quickly
and
and
pulling
pulling
and
it.
pulling, and you're getting the texture that you want. And I tell you what, I think I suck at it because no matter how many times I did it, my mozzarella would still be a little hard.
Yeah.
I would just I'm pulling, stretching, and you're like,
But
oh
it
wow,
is
it looks
really
great.
good.
It's great. But then it would tighten up on me. So I don't know.
Maybe we'll try it again.
It's a labor of love, I guess. What you got? I think we got one more question.
Do you make pasta at home, fresh?
We do.
Yeah.
Is it-
We have a little pasta machine that you can
I do
make.
too,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I've never
so
used
simple.
it. So
Yeah.
it looks really easy, so
It's
I think
so
I should
simple.
try.
It's like literally, it's what, like 3 ingredients, and you're pretty much done.
And then we'll take it and we'll also bag it up and put it in the freezer to keep it fresh.
My grandmother used to make the cavatelli. She used to roll the little cavatelli and do it with the fingers, and yeah. But I think that's about it. Do we have one more?
Yes or no, do you rinse the pasta?
No,
I do. He doesn't.
no. I don't wash my chicken either. No, I wash the chicken, but no, you don't have to. You're just, especially when you're going to do an immediate tossing in the sauce, keep that starch on there. The starch is going to help bind. It's going to help put a little body into your sauce as well.
I guess the last one. Okay, yeah. I think it was a great base sauce, and it gives me a lot of great ideas, but to mix and match it with all kinds of things. But from what area is it originally from Italy?
My head, because I came up with that, and before I wrote the recipe to send it to MPT, I never even cooked it. So
We said we'll just grab a couple things
Yeah.
and we'll just throw it
I
together.
went shopping on the shelf and went, this is what we're making.
This is what we did for a recipe contest.
We did the same thing with the recipe contest. We just,
Which
we typed it out,
yeah.
entered it, and then,
We won, so
We
we
won.
went to Chicago for that.
Not for this, something
Not for
different,
this, but something
different.
else.
So, all right, you guys are free to ask me questions when you're on the other side. So if you guys got something you're thinking about, just let me know. I'm happy to help you out. Or if you come into the store and you have questions, grab one of us. Preferably not Saturday at 8:30 in the morning.
Preferably most Saturdays
Yeah.
until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, so Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays between lunch and dinner. No, come on in. If it's not crazy, we love talking to people and helping you guys out. And
Yeah. Just
trying to-
Saturdays we're back and forth between
catering
and in the kitchen.
and
so,
donuts.
yeah.
And donuts. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you. It's been a blast.